everyone, and welcome now to episode 138 of the Down South Photo Show with me, Brendan Waits, here in Ocean Grove, Victoria, Australia. And the guy on your other screen or in your other ear, if you're listening to the show, it's Cam Blake, not in Hobart, Tasmania, Australia. Where do we find you, Cameron? Hello.
Hello, Brendan. How you going?
Very well.
You find me in Glencoe in Scotland.
Fantastic.
Which is now you think I did some research for this show? No, there's a lock out here. I've got no idea what it's called.
I'll flash that up on the screen later.
Yeah. So yeah, we're in Glencoe. We've been here. What's this? Our second day here. We've come across from Edinburgh,
Fantastic.
and yeah, we're having a great time. But have a look at this weather. I think I figured Scotland out.
Yeah.
It's very similar to Hobart and Tasmania, where they say don't go to Tasmania, the weather's shit.
Yep.
It's been a magical day today. All the weather so far has been really quite good. So
that would be Loch Leven that you're standing in front of.
That's
there.
The one. Yes, yep. I've seen that. Can you pronounce the Gaelic name for that?
Of course I can't. I'm not even going to attempt to embarrass myself or offend any Gaelic, any Scottish people that might be watching.
No. Yes. So yeah, Loch Leven. That's the one.
Fantastic.
And my traveling partner Cheryl, she's gone for a walk down there at the moment. There's some really cool rocks and stuff down there with you can see the old house behind me over here.
Yes.
There's some beautiful old sort of farm buildings that go onto the loch as well, which is lovely.
Now, you've been spoiling us with a few photos through your Cam Blake Photography Facebook.
Yes.
Do the photos do it justice? I mean, it's a beautiful. I've been to Scotland. Luckily, it's a beautiful country. You're enjoying what you're seeing through the lens.
Yeah, like I really liked Edinburgh. Edinburgh was wonderful. Like it's a really cool city. Yeah. And we did a couple of almost 2 full days of hiking around there. We covered some Ks, but everything was so easy to walk around and stuff like that. And then we came out here to Glencoe yesterday, and as we were driving along, you could just see the mountains starting to grow. And then we just came around this one corner. It's always something, there's a one corner you come around.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, all right, I get it now. I get why we're here. There was just incredible mountains coming past. I think they're called the Three Sisters. As you come into Glencoe, it's just mind-blowingly good. So I'm comparing it. You always obviously compare it to where you're from.
Yeah.
But it's Tassie with a dose of New Zealand chucked in the side.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, cool. There's areas of New Zealand and Tasmania, that are very English and very British, if you like. So you're obviously seeing a lot of the heritage there. But a couple of 4,000 years older.
Yeah, that's right. It's amazing. Like I put up a bit of a piss take on my Facebook page the other day about the Edinburgh Castle. I said, which 14th century castle doesn't have Wi-Fi? Like, come on, like it's a 14th century castle. It's ridiculous. So yeah, everything's old. Every building we came out, went through Stirling, went past the William Wallace Monument yesterday. That was really cool as well. And then we came out, I think it was the A84 road that came out here, and I put it in my notes for the tours next year that we have to come down that road to come out here.
Yep.
It was just that classic sort of British, Scottish back roads, sort of, fields of green and hedges, and then every little town had a big church, and it was very cool. So, and it's good. I've got an English counterpart coming along with me, so
yeah,
I'm learning a lot of things about the UK. It's good.
Yeah, that's fantastic to have your own sort of personal tour guide through that area.
Yeah,
I'm assuming Cheryl's been in that area quite a few times.
Yeah, she has been. I think she's been to Scotland once or twice before, a few years back.
Yep.
But a lot of the things sort of obviously, transfer through the whole of UK. But it was it's very cool having her there and pointing out things and pronouncing names of towns that I'm pronouncing wrong. It's great. Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you to all now 900 of you that subscribe on the YouTube channel. So we appreciate you subscribing. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't watch the show, you're new to the show, Cam, you want to let the listeners in on to why you are in Scotland?
Just a drinking tour.
Yeah. Okay, cool. How come I wasn't
invited? No, I'm here scouting. We've got 2 trips next year sold out. This time next year, we've got a couple of trips here. So we're coming over here scouting out things, and I'm actually really glad we're doing it. I spoke to Tom Putt the other day. He was in the Faroe Islands, and I said, I'll be just around the corner from you in a week. He goes, what are you going there for? I said, I'm scouting a tour. He goes, oh, do you do that, do you? So he obviously doesn't do too much scouting, but I'm glad we did, because Glencoe is really nice, but there's a place called Fort William up the road, which is much better for us to stay in. So it's just finding those little niches out that work and just test. Like we came up this morning, went out for sunrise, and you know what? It was good that we didn't have a group because we sort of stuffed sunrise up this morning a bit. We thought it was going to be a bit cloudy. We got up a little bit lazier and went out there, and it was just this magic, like just wispy clouds, pink, purple in the sky. And we still got a couple of shots, but we weren't where we wanted to be with the customers. So, you know, just scouting all that stuff out's really important, where you can eat and how long it takes to get places. And
yeah, that's the whole point of scouting the trips, isn't it? And as you say, in particular, the timing.
Yes. Yeah.
So you'll be over there at this time of year next year, is that right?
Yeah, we will be. We'll be maybe a couple of weeks later than this. So we'll be right into the fall colour, which is starting to change already. There's plenty of beautiful colours on the way in. So I'm actually really chuffed that we've picked the time we have. I think it's going to be bloody magical when we get here. So just getting some photos, some nice photos to help promote. Well, we still got a tour in 2026 that's starting to get. I think it's got 3 or 4 spots left, but I think this could be a regular. Like I was thinking, the overseas trips could be. I think we've discussed as well. Like, you know, maybe have one and every 3 years change it up to something else.
Yeah.
Already, I think this could be like a 5 or 6 year one. This is a cool place.
Yeah, it looks absolutely stunning. I mean, as I say, the photos that you've shared so far, and really you're only on day 2, 3 of your trip. So
yes, it's
how
ridiculous.
long are you over there for?
Well, it's funny. We worked it out the other day. We're here for I'm here for 2 weeks, so I got another like 10 days to go.
Yeah,
or 12 days to go. And we've seen a lot already. In 2 days. So this afternoon, what is it, lunchtime here almost? We're just having a bit of a downtime and having a bit of a break and do a recording with you, and then we'll head out in the afternoon into that late afternoon light and get some more stuff.
As far as the podcast is concerned, the timing couldn't be better. I'm just recording when I normally would record.
It just so happens and I'm not in bed.
That's
and
right.
Look at it. How good's the weather?
Yeah, no, absolutely fantastic.
I hear it's raining over there a bit.
Oh, it's winter is hanging on for grim deaths here still. There's no question about that, but that's all right. That's spring for you over here. Just quickly, a shout out to Greg, who popped into camera and photo during the week and bought a battery from me. He turned on his heel. He was about to walk out and he said, "By the way, love your podcast."
Oh, he built his confidence up to say it, didn't he?
He did, and then I reckon he only said it because he wanted a shout out. No, he didn't.
That's why you do it. You want to do shouts. I almost could have given a shout out if I asked the guy's name, but we went to, just on the way out of Edinburgh, there's a thing called the Kelpies, which is these 2 mystical horse creatures that come out of this water, which is really cool. And as we're getting back to the car, I had my Tas Photo Workshop bloody jumper on, and this guy had a big camera. We saw him around with a tripod with his wife, and we get back to the car, and he was from London. He goes, "So what's this Tas Photo Workshop's all about?" And I explained it to him. I said, "Oh, we've got a podcast." And he goes, "Oh, don't listen to podcasts." I'm like, "All right, you don't get a shout out then."
Yeah, well, he could have and got himself a shout out. That's all right, though.
He could have. Yeah. So,
Cool. So, you're mainly just concentrating on Scotland for this trip, or are you doing part of England as well, or?
Again, I'm meant to be flying out of Heathrow, but I'm thinking I might try and see if I can fly to Edinburgh and just stay up here that extra day or 2.
Stay up there the whole time.
Yeah, just stay the whole time, because I'd like to get as much covered as we can in the time we're here, and I think that gives the best opportunity for the trip when we put the proper itinerary together as to exactly where we're going to go and stuff. But I was speaking to a good friend Jamie yesterday, and he said, "How's it going?" Because he's coming on the 2nd tour next year. He goes, "How's it going?" I said, "Mate, this is a photographer's wet dream. I said, "We're not going to get anywhere if we stop and take photos every 5 minutes." So, it's going to be a really heavy photography tour, which is great.
From what I can tell as well, and correct me if I'm wrong, that I think a place like Scotland, probably New Zealand as well, but mainly Scotland, is one of those places, if the weather doesn't cooperate, it doesn't really matter. Like, it's still absolutely spectacular no matter what the conditions.
We were just saying that this morning, like just down on the lock here, it was mirror glass around this little harbour bit, and there's all these beautiful boats and stuff. And I said, "This is good." I said, "How good's the weather?" And then Cheryl said, "But if it's not like this and there's like mist on the lock and there's a bit of mountain mist, and it'll still be pretty. Like it's an almost all season type of thing." And then we'll be here a couple of weeks later than now. There could even be a bit of snow on the mountains and things like that. We're right near Ben Nevis, which is the highest mountain in UK. It's about 1,350 meters high, I think, which is just over the back here. So it's a big Fort William up the road is a bit like Queenstown in New Zealand. It's very snowy, snowboarding and mountain biking sort of region. There's a big, I didn't realize how much hiking was done in Scotland. Like there's a really big hiking community. It's called the Highland Westway. I think it's like 70 miles that runs all through these mountains. We've seen people hiking everywhere, and yeah, it's a very, very cool spot.
Well, that's going to be on the list. There are people who want to know, Cameron. We had a big episode before you left about the gear that you were going to take. Now, by the end of the episode, I don't think we'd even quite nailed it down. Now, you're now there. You now know what gear you ended up taking. Can you please let our listeners in on what you ended up packing for this road trip?
The customs also know what I've packed.
They've been through
it. Yeah. So I ended up taking a lot of stuff. I
couldn't help it. Okay.
So, but funnily enough, so I brought my big white lens.
Oh, you did in the end?
I did. And the other reason I had it, I had it not in my bag before the night before I left. And then I thought, you know what? If I'm going to do it, I might as well just take it. There might be, deer or something really cool. Let's just take it. I haven't even taken it out of a suitcase yet. So I took the Olympus camera. I took my Olympus OM1 with the big lens and the sort of standard 10 to 20 lens I've got. And then I've brought the Leica gear. And the Olympus stuff, I reckon I've taken 4 photos on.
Yeah.
The Leica's done everything so far. And I tell you what, it's we know that Canons and Sonys and Fujis and all have their little color profiles and, color feels to them. That Leica camera just works really well with these low saturated colors in the landscape. With like the sort of the button grassy sort of colors and the sort of light yellowy grey coloured mountains and stuff. It just works a treat. And all the old buildings in Edinburgh that are sort of that sooty grey black sort of old buildings, it's working really nicely with that. So the editing, like Cheryl was ripping her hair out the other night trying to edit a photo, and I just said, oh, this is how I do it, and it took like 30 seconds straight out of camera. So I ended up, and I got paid out online. Someone made a comment on our channel about me giving advice to them on an earlier episode, then just ignoring that and taking whatever I wanted. So apologies to that person. But look, if I don't see a buck with big antlers, I'll be disappointed.
Yeah, well, that lens will just be on a global tour.
Yeah, and I brought my drone as well.
Yep.
So I took it out this morning. Didn't have a memory card in the drone, so that was a bit of a fail.
Okay. Right.
So I ended up taking a lot, and at the moment I'm regretting it a little bit bringing the Olympus. I don't think I've needed it at all.
Yeah.
But it's just that one moment where we might need something with that big lens.
I think that'll change. I think particularly like you've been on the go.
Yes.
Till now. So that's where the Leica comes in so handy when you need to shoot from the hip and be quick. And you want lighter weight gear, and of course the quality that gear delivers is the icing on the cake. So I think you'll definitely use that Olympus gear as the trip goes on.
I think we will once we get a bit further up into the west coast here. I think I will. But you're right about the Leica. Like I can take that in 3 lenses in a little carry bag. It's so good. So one thing I've noticed that's a bit tricky when you're traveling, like those inbuilt zooms, like you got your 12 to 40 Olympus or 24 to 70 or whatever it might be. The Leica doesn't have any sort of real zoom lenses, so you're sort of using fixed focus all the time. So there's a lot of a bit of change that lens and stuff like that. But what I've found I'm doing is if we go down a road or if I'm walking through a street of the town or a circuit, I've gone there with maybe like a 50mm lens and then come back with a 90mm lens, or gone with a 21mm lens and come back with a 50. So you go up one way and then on one focal length and come back the other way. And it's really good fun. Like you walk past stuff and go, oh yeah, I shot that on the way up, but I didn't realize there was everything else around it as well, because now I've got a wider lens. So I brought a lot of shit, and I brought a tripod, which I haven't used yet. That's the other thing. I'm shooting, like even all around Edinburgh, you would have seen the shots at night I've done there.
Yeah.
All handheld. I didn't take a tripod. I've just put on auto ISO, shooting at like 2.8 f4.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the ISO noise and denoise these days. Even like we went to, I think it's called the Copa. It's a boat that's rotting on the coastline here.
What a fantastic location that is.
That is very cool. And there's a little waterfall just purposely made right, like your waterfall behind you, just right in front of this boat on the coastline. And I used the Olympus for that one. I handheld 2 seconds, handheld shots with the water blurring. So, is a tripod needed anymore? I don't know. Like,
apart from Astro, naturally, if you didn't take your tripod, you are going to get the Northern Lights.
Oh yeah, so, guaranteed. Well, last night we looked at the thing and looked like it was building a little bit and it was cloudy. So maybe tonight we might give it a crack.
In Australia tonight, Aurora is highly likely. We're clouded out here, but they're talking about it being quite likely tonight. So could be your first opportunity for Aurora shots, and that's when you'll go, I am so glad I've got this tripod and probably your Olympus gear as well.
Yes, that I might be happy about that. The only problem is, what are we? We're east over here, so north is this way. I don't know. Like lots of mountains around here. Like how do we get to a spot where we can get a clear view north? This as opposed south, perfect. If it's south, I'm happy. But we're not in the southern hemisphere, so
no, you're not.
But yeah, we'll get lucky. It'd be good. But gear wise, I've carried a lot, but as I've been walking around, it's literally just been a lens and a couple. Like I've actually taken my little insert out of my bag and just carried that like a handbag and just walked around and been really good.
Yeah.
And I've had Cheryl's been fantastic. She's like, "What lens do you want?" Bang bang. She's like a little assistant. It's fantastic. She brought along her OM1 and she bought a 7-14, a 12-40, and a 75 mil. That's what she's brought, and she's more welcome to use my big lens if she wants to. But
sorry, what lenses did you say Cheryl's got?
7-14.
Yeah.
She's got a 12-40.
Yeah.
And a 75 mil.
Really? Yeah. There's a big glaring omission for a macro photographer there.
I think she might have. Maybe the macro lens is in there. I haven't seen it come out though.
If she hasn't got a 60 mil macro, I'll be very surprised.
I think she has. Surprised. I think actually now I think about it, I think she does. I was talking to Mum. I rang Mum at home this morning, and Mum's like, "Has your friend done any macro yet?" You know, I'm like, "Not yet. We haven't really seen anything macro-y, but we'll see how we go. No doubt it'll come out."
Oh, without question, in your travels. Now, just while Cam's basking in the sunshine of Scotland over there, I'm just going to quickly show people my background. The reason I've got this background is because this is the Fainter River, which is at Bogong Village in the Victorian High Country, which just happens to be one of the locations that we're heading to during BFOP on Brendan and Charlie's Great Escape on the bus trip. So for those of you who are getting along to BFOP and wanted another little taster of a location, there's one for you. That was on the scouting trip that we did up there 3-4 weeks ago now. PS, that goes live Friday. So all the bookings for BFOP go live on Friday. So just in case those BFOPers out there didn't know that, it happens on Friday. So
it's Wednesday there, isn't it?
It is Wednesday
today?
Evening as we record. Yes.
Yeah, as we record. Yeah. So Friday, I saw they had a few issues with their website at BFOP.
Oh, what else is new? and this time they swear it's not their fault. So
that's right.
We'll see about that.
You know what? It's something I'm actually really glad I don't go to BFOP as a punter. I reckon it'd be stressful as hell trying to get there. I think you just have to accept the fact that I've got credits, just book into anything and just go there and make it work.
We talked about this and by all means, don't be discouraged, people, BFOPers who are looking to book their workshops. Right. Don't be discouraged if you don't get what your heart desired, because chances are you're going to get yourself into a workshop that you have no idea about, and you will learn way more on that workshop than if you just did one that you in a genre that you're used to.
Yeah. And if all else fails, just go drink at the bar.
That's where Cam and I will be.
You'll learn a lot there. Nothing about photography though.
No, that's exactly right. Well, that's all very exciting, mate. It's good. It's good to touch base with you on the other side of the planet. We're not going to be doing a great big long episode this time around. It's just really a quick check-in with people. Again, thanks a million to everyone who subscribed, liked, followed the channel, all that sort of stuff, and is sharing it around. little bit of homework as well. The black and white comp, the People's Choice voting, is still live, and that runs out at the end of September. So that's on the Down South Photo Show Facebook page, all linked in description. But if you just go on Facebook and search the Down South Photo Show, you'll find that it's the pin post at the top. Go ahead and vote for your favorite black and white image from last month's competition.
I got a thought. If we can get to 1,000 subs before I'm meant to come home, I'll stay.
Okay, you heard it here first, folks.
You get to 1,000, I'll just stay in Scotland. Challenge. Now you asked me yesterday if I've been drinking a lot, and I've had one nip of whiskey, and that's it.
Okay.
I don't know why.
That's totally fine. And you probably needed a bit of a dry out, let's be honest. So that's that's a win.
Probably. Cheryl said yesterday, she goes, I hope it's not because I don't, like, she doesn't drink much. She's a bit of a teetotaler. And I'm like, no, I just haven't, we've just, like you said, we've been on the go since we got here. So I haven't tried haggis, and I don't intend to.
You might just be in a country that is conducive to the odd drink or two. That's all. So,
I told my brother
remiss of you not to.
I told my brother last night. He goes, "How drunk you been?" I said, "I've only had one nip." He goes, "Oh, you'll get deported from there. You get kicked out."
It's part of the entrance exam, isn't it? Where you've got to actually sit down and load up.
Yeah.
Speaking of, sorry, you go if you had something to add.
No, that's a great segue. Well picked up.
Beer donations.
Yes.
We've got a new donator this week, Ricardo Silva. Thank you, Ricardo, for who I don't believe has bought us a beer before, but I do know Ricardo.
No, and we forgot to shout him out last week, so sorry about that.
Well, that was probably my fault because I do the beer donation shout outs, generally speaking. And another newcomer who's just bought us a beer for the first time, Mel H, is it?
Mel H.
Yeah.
Doesn't ring a bell.
No. Anyway, bought us both a beer and left us a $2 tip.
A tip?
A $2 tip.
Thanks, Mel. $1 each. How are we going to spend that, I reckon?
Exactly. Right. Yes. So, Cam, from here, you're heading, did you say west?
So from here tomorrow, here for a couple of days, and then we head off to Portree, which is up towards the Isle of Skye.
Nice.
And then from there, we actually have no itinerary, nothing booked after that as to where we're going to go. So, but I think we're going to go up to Inverness, up to the north, and have a bit of a look around there, and then come back down maybe the middle, or maybe around the east coast, maybe through St Andrews and Dundee and things like that.
If you have to check out St Andrews, I mean.
Yeah, I'm going to check out St Andrews. I tell you what, mate, the first place we stayed was Ratho Farm in Edinburgh, which is the namesake of the one in Tasmania. And we spoke to the lady that runs the property in it. We heard a cool story that the people that originally owned Ratho in Scotland, they had 4 sons or something like that. And generally in the hierarchy, that the first oldest son gets everything, and then, whatever else. So the youngest son is the one who decided to uproot and head out to Tassie and built his own Ratho farm in Tassie. So there was a lot of history involved. Absolutely. I went to the pro shop. I've never been heckled on a golf course before. Have you? Not really heckled. Like you play with your mates, like heckled. But like if you and I play, we always banter each other and have a bit of fun. So I went into the pro shop and I spoken to them before I went there. Wanted to play, couldn't get any clubs. And I went in there and I said to the guy, I said, look, this is what I want. I'd love to play. It was a beautiful little golf course. We were on the 3rd green pretty much. Every morning I was watching people play golf. And he's like, oh, yeah, no problems, mate. We can probably get you on today. And he goes, I said, I need to hire clubs. He goes, right-handed? I said, no. He goes, nope. He goes, you will not find left-handed clubs in Scotland. I said, why not? And I said, why not? He goes, we have no members here that are left-handed at all. I went, what? How does that work? He goes, there's just not many left-handers at all. They're very, very rare. And as I was about to walk out, he goes, but that's a good lesson, isn't it? He goes, don't play left-handed. I said, right, okay. He gave me a little clip on the back of the head on the way out.
Right. So
like, okay, cool.
Okay.
Thanks.
So Phil Mickelson doesn't count. I mean, how many majors has he won? And
yeah, I know. So
Watson.
I'm actually tempted to play right-handed just to get a game. I don't know how. I might be able to.
If you're back there and you play right-handed and you shoot less than 150, I will buy you a slab. Sorry, we are still on air. This is not a golf show.
Oh yeah, sorry, this is the Down South golf show. But no, it was a lovely golf. We've driven past 1,000 of them, but surely, every town I'm gonna. Maybe this afternoon I'll have a look around here and see if there's
the thing about Scotland is that the golf courses have been there that long. They are, part of the landscape more or less now.
Yeah.
And some of the photography I've seen from golf courses has been stunning in Scotland.
Yeah. Yeah. The one that was where we stayed at the other day, this Ratho Farm one, it reminded me of the old, the old PC game, the golf game. We used to go up Tory Pines or one of the pine ones where it just looked like every fairway was beautifully manicured, and it was hard. And there's guys, every day they're just playing it. But you actually drive through the golf course. So we had to stop for people teeing off.
Yeah, fantastic.
And Cheryl's like, how the hell do you know where everyone's going on this? I'm like, oh, that's the first tee, that's the second green. Like, you can work it out. Well, and then they wave you through. And
you'll correct me if I'm wrong when you're there, but as far as I'm aware, St Andrews, the actual golf course itself is a park on Sundays.
Oh, right.
You just go there and you just walk your dog through the golf course. It's a funny sort of situation over there. So you'll definitely be able to stand foot on the hallowed turf of St Andrews golf links.
Yeah,
so
I will.
That's going to be good. I'm looking forward to that photo from the Swilcan Bridge. Okay.
Okay. Oh, that's okay. Can I on a Sunday? How good's this bloody weather, mate? This is ridiculous.
This is absolutely stunning. Well, we're not going to hold you up much longer. We'll let you get out there and enjoy it. Enjoy the rest of your trip. We will probably touch base with you next week, maybe from Scotland.
I'll be somewhere else. Let's do it.
Do it all again. Why not?
To be sure. That's Irish.
And say good day to Cheryl for us.
We'll do. I think she's lost walking down by the lock. I might have to go rescue her. I don't know.
That is it. That's the podcast. This has been episode 138 of the Down South Photo Show. We will see you for episode 139 next week. Bye for now.
Bye.